Hi, fabulous friends. Welcome back to the Art Cellar of Houston. My name is Sarah Lowe, and today we're going to be painting on wood. I'm so excited for this project. It is a lot of fun, and I am ready to get started. So make sure whenever you get your painting kits, you can find those at artcellarhouston.com. Then you're gonna click on shop and go to painting kits. We have everything listed out there for you to reserve your kit. Not included in your kit would be a cup of water, but we do have paintbrushes, paint, your paint palette. I'm using paper plates just because I like for easy cleanup solution. But grab all of your supplies, get yourself together, and I'll join you back in just a moment. To get started, we're gonna go with our biggest brush that we have first, and we want to water down the color that we're going to use. Now, it is important to remember that when you're working with wood, you're gonna have to put quite a few layers to create the look that you would like to do. So here, I'll show you guys, sorry, I should have had this a little bit closer. So with here, we'll start off with the darkest red color at the top, then we'll add some more yellow. So this color up at the top is going to be a red and brown combination. And then down here, you're gonna see, red and black, not red and brown. So we'll do red and black up here. Then we're going to mix together red and yellow for an orangey look here and here. So this will just be less yellow, this will be more yellow. And then at the bottom, we'll do green. So let's grab our color combinations to get started. So the red and black, we're just gonna take a huge scoop of red, mixed together with a little bit of black. So it's important to remember here that black can take over very quickly. So when you're working with black, just do a little bit at a time, and we'll mix that color up really beautifully until you get that beautiful wine color that you're looking for. Some people like a little bit darker, some people like a little bit lighter. Just keep going back and forth until you get your color combination. I'm gonna dip my brush in the water and mix the water with my paint. And then we'll go ahead and brush over your wood. I love the way this is looking. So to make sure I have a nice even coat, I'm gonna grab some more water, mix it with my paint. Make sure you completely mix that water and then go onto your wood sign. Oh, I love the way this looks. That cranberry or wine color that we're using for this is just so gorgeous. All right, so once you get done with that first layer, keep in mind that you might have to put a second or a third layer for this to pop once it's dry. Right now, you can see it's got a good layer, but it's wet. Once it dries, it's gonna turn darker and could almost blend in with that background with the wood color itself. So once you're done painting that first layer, let it dry, see if you need to add a second layer or not. In some cases, you may not need to. I'm going to go ahead and work on getting each of my panels painted. Remember, we're doing red and black for the first one, red and yellow for the second one and the third one, and green at the bottom. Once I'm done with all of the panels, then I'm going to go back and start working on the moon. So our moon is going to be a combination of yellow and a tiny smidgen of red, okay? So this is that orangey color that we used for the third panel. So I'm going to grab some yellow, a lot of it, a tiny, tiny bit of red. Remember, red can take over, same as black, so we don't want to put too much. And then I'm going to add a little bit of white. So that white's really going to make your moon pop out, and so it'll give it more of the blood moon look. And be careful not to get yourself wet like I just did. I like to get myself painted. All right, so I'm going to do a nice big full blood moon here. And I try to think of the letter O whenever I am painting the moon. And if you try to think of painting a circular object, your brain is going to continually do one side a little more flat than the other. But if you think of making the letter O, And then it actually comes out to a nice round circle. All right, so to get the moon to pop just a little bit, we're gonna add an extra little bit of white here. All the way around. Okay. All right, so now that we have our moon filled in with white, I'm going to grab a little bit of red and black in my tiniest brush. So red and a tiny bit of black. We don't want too much black, but a little bit. So we're watering down this color, red and black, and then we're gonna do a nice little letter C inside the moon on the left side. So that'll give it that nice blood moon look. And once it's dry, we'll add maybe a next coat. Let's see, I kind of want to get it a little bit brighter here. Okay, so a little bit of orangey. There we go. And then another layer. Remember, you might have to add 2 layers on every object that you do for this painting because the wood will absorb the majority of the paint and it'll blend in with your background. So if you really want something to be seen, then you'll need to put a couple of layers. All right, so I'll let that guy dry for now and we'll move on to the trees. So for the trees, we're just going to do a watered down black. That is it. You can do them with your medium brush, your tiny brush, or your large brush, whatever works out for you. So grab as much black as you would like. Dip your brush into the water cup and we'll water down the black. The more watered down you have it, the further back these trees are going to look, which means for the trees you want closer up, maybe put a second layer so that way they don't look so washed out. For these trees, I'm gonna come back here, probably in this third panel is where I'm gonna start. And we're just going to draw a nice little number 11, so to speak. So we have one line going one side, one line going the other. At the bottom, we're gonna pull out even more. And I'll show you what I mean in just one moment. Let me get this drawn in, and then I'll give you guys a little look. There we go. So make sure when you're drawing trees, you have the base is going to be a lot wider than the top. And what I mean by that is that you want to have, you don't want the base to be this tiny and then your top to be, you know, really, really big. You want to have your base go out a little on the bottom, and then as you go up, the branches will curve out. Now, because my brush has a little fraying in the center, it's giving these beautiful tree branch kind of multi-layered look. And I like the way this looks, so I'm gonna keep working with that. I'm going to do a couple of little branches here, and then I'm going to move on to my next tree. And this one's in the back, so I'm not too worried about it being lots of detail. The ones that I'm gonna do here in the front, I'm gonna make sure that those have a couple layers and are very, very dark. So this one's gonna come out. Maybe I'll go a little bit higher on the branches here. I kind of want this branch to go over the moon. I like the way that looks. So I'm gonna add probably about 3 or 4 trees to my background, and then we'll come back and see how it looks. So you see here, I've got the outline of the witch already drawn in. And you really want to start with that watered down look on the witch outline first. And here's why. If you happen to make a mistake on the shape that you don't like, then you can take your brush, stick it in the water cup, get that part wet, completely wet, and then you can wipe it right off. It comes right off, okay? So you wanna make sure that that black paint that you're using for the outline is super watered down, so when you go to do the shape, if you don't like anything, you can wipe it off. That's the best part about acrylic paint. As long as it's still wet on the canvas, then you can wipe it off. If it dries, then you'll have to repaint that area, so just keep that in mind. Once you're done with the outline of the witch, then you can paint her in fully. I love the way this is looking. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I've gone ahead and painted in my bird here and my bird that's flying here. For this, you want to do a backwards letter C almost, but kind of bring this lazy, what's it called? Lazy lower part of the C, so that way it can come out as their tail. And then you'll add 2 little legs at the bottom. For this guy, you want to think of drawing maybe the letter X or a nice big open smile with a hump in the center. For the wings, I just pulled out with my brush all the way from top to bottom, okay? So those are done. However, if you notice, this painting is super, super dark. So how are we going to lighten it up? With yellow and white, or straight watered down yellow. So I'm going to take my tiny brush and I'm gonna take some yellow. We're gonna see how it looks first with yellow and watered down yellow. And if it needs a little bit of white, we'll add some white from there. Okay, so I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna take this watered down yellow and we're just gonna trace it around. See how that looks. Right? So I'm okay with it. Let's see how it looks once it's dry. With my witch, I wanna continue that look here, here. Maybe some of her hair, you know, we'll bring some of these pieces covered. And then of course, on her shoulder, definitely wanna get a little bit of color there to outline and show where her shirt is, okay? All right, a little bit here. Maybe water it down a little bit more, or we'll add some black to this color right here. There. Okay. On the dress itself, I actually, on the skirt, left the black open in certain areas so the green would shine through and look like layers of love there. Continually water down, and we'll add some yellow to the bird. Definitely on his wings. And then I'll grab a little bit more here. I might need to put a little bit more on him a little bit later, but let's see how this looks. So it's starting to dry, and you can see it looks nice, but it's still a little bit hard to see. So let's go ahead and take white, mix that with my yellow, and see if we can get that to pop a little bit more. So grab some white, mix it with yellow. Now I do have a little bit of black in here, and that's gonna be just from the water itself. But we'll layer this on top. Yes, that's very strong. So I would say play around with both of them, see which one you like the most. I do kind of like this color, but let's water it down a little bit more. There we go. See, there we go. And you can smear it out with your finger if you like that more watered down look. This is all going to depend on your specific style. Go with what you're feeling when it comes to art. If you're not feeling the white and yellow look, then don't go in that direction. Try different things. Maybe try green as a highlighter rather than your yellow, because sometimes green is a little bit more attractive when it comes to shading and highlighting. So we'll try that. Oh, I do like that green. I did green with a little bit of yellow, and I love it for my other bird. Excellent. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, that's my color. I'm digging it. Make sure you put some of this highlighter on your trees so they show a little bit more. And I love that green look. Oh, that looks gorgeous. That just gives this whole painting a little something special. Okay, so I'm just gonna trace over my yellows with this little green color. Where did it go? And I like the way that looks a lot better. When I'm done, then it's ready to hang up on your door. So notice all of these wooden signs come with their own little hanger here. So as soon as you're done, you're ready to hang it up. Thank you so much for joining me today for this hauntingly gorgeous painting on wood session. And I look forward to seeing your creations on social media. So if you're on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, you can see us at Art Cellar Houston. That's Cellar, C-E-L-L-A-R, Art Cellar Houston, and on TikTok as well. So post what you've done, tag us, and we'll see you soon. Remember, art is happiness, and make it your own.